you were saying that people always introduce you as this like social media person, but like straight away that gives an impression of Facebook and Instagram guy to a certain extent, doesn't it?
Yeah, in some ways. But social business is what we talk about, right?
Yeah.
Social business isn't something you do. It's not a platform. It's not an execution strategy. Social business is something you become. It's about figuring out your core message, figuring out how to connect your people, how to scale your purpose, how to build relationship touch points, how to use social media to build a community around you and your core message. And without actually connecting to that, without understanding that your culture is your brand, having your team be clear on why you're there and who they are and what they're doing and what the collective who is, then you don't have anything to leverage. So it's as much about change management as anything else. And the technology has been around for more than a decade to allow services businesses to leverage themselves. The reason they're not has got nothing to do with technology. So the last thing we need is another app or another ecosystem, because in the people world they're already not keeping up with that. So in the world of services, the accountants and advisors and consultants and coaches, they're already not using the technology that we have. And the reason for that is context. They don't have the context. They're not aligned with the context. They have these misconceptions in their head. They're afraid. They're afraid of putting themselves out into the world. And you can have social media gurus talk all day long about building personal brands and doing this and executing this strategy, and that's great for the marketing team whose job it is to execute that stuff. But the real leverage of social business isn't about marketing, it's about people leverage. That's where the real change comes from, and that's so much harder. How do you get your entire team doing video? How do you get your sales team actually understanding the nuances of social selling? How do you get them to treat people like people, not numbers, which is what you need in a connected world? It's all about giving your team and yourself the right context. Otherwise, you can't execute what it really means to be a social business. And that's the challenge, and that's really the challenge for the social advisor. It's why we created it. Everyone else is working on tactics, we're working on changing the context of what it actually means to be in business. Far harder, far more exciting, far more challenging, and in the end, if we can pull it off, far more impact on the world.
400 meters, keep left to continue on M3. Follow signs for Coronation Drive.
What was it saying, turn left?
I think it was just like a veer left or keep left.
That's so annoying speaking over me. How rude.
Yeah.
Turn left onto Crib Street.
Yeah.